Hi, and welcome to this week's Future Talk. And I'm Liz Buchanan. I'm a digital communications expert, and I'm joined by Shara Evans, one of the world's 50 top female futurists, as designated by Forbes earlier this year. So welcome, Shara.
Hello, Liz, and hello, everybody. Thank you very much. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about cybersecurity, and in particular, email and presenting health-related information in the digital world that we are completely immersed in. So just back to basics. Whenever you send an email to someone, it's really important to understand that you're sending information in plain text. It's not encrypted, and anything that you send sits at lots of different servers as you go in between my computer and your computer. And what that means is that it's very easy for people to intercept and read whatever it may be that you're sending. Now, when it comes to health information, we're sending some very, very sensitive data. In fact, the most valuable data that cybersecurity criminals want to get their hands on. So we're talking about things like your name, your date of birth, your address, your email address, your phone number, your Medicare number, your private insurance number, all the sorts of things that can be used for identity theft. Now, in the world of COVID-19, mid-April, I would say, here in New South Wales, the government decided that it would be okay for doctors to send prescriptions by email and also by e-fax, just because of the social distancing and wanting to keep people safe. However, what was not taken into account is that if you send a document, let's say it's a PDF document, and you're sending it by email, that document is sitting at every single server in between me and you, or the doctor and the pharmacy. And this is very sensitive information that is contained in your prescription. And the other thing that I've learned by recently speaking with a number of specialists and physicians, top surgeons and so on, is that another practice that's been going on for a little while, not just during COVID, is that referral letters tend to also go by email these days. Very few people have actual fax machines, they're sort of outdated. And once again, in a referral letter, you've got the patient's name and address and date of birth and Medicare number and all the medical conditions and healthcare history that they can think of to help inform the specialist of whatever it is the patient needs to see them for, which, as you can imagine, is extremely unsecure. So we need to take some measures to combat that and also to educate the public about security. So I'd like to give people a couple of hints that they can use and really good tools that are easy to use to protect information, because if it is leaked, it can lead to identity theft, which is financially distressing, emotionally distressing. It's just a mess. So hint number one, if you send a PDF document and you use the fully featured version of Acrobat Pro, there is a feature in there that allows you to encrypt the document with a password. So that means even if you send a prescription as a PDF and it's plain text, the actual attachment, which has the valuable information, is encrypted and nobody can do anything with it. Another tip is if you are sending a document using something like Microsoft Word, another common application, once again, just built into it, you can actually save it where a password is required to open the document. And the third tip is that there are all kinds of zip programs, ZIP, that run on both Macs and PCs The ones that enable encryption, typically you would have to pay for them, but they're not very expensive. And if you're sending multiple documents, it may be easier to just put it into a zip file, encrypt it using the strongest encryption key that you can, and then once again send it by email. So what you now have are 3 ways that you can send very sensitive information to people without a lot of fuss and without endangering anybody's identity. But
yeah, and that's what's important is, you know, we're in the, which what its Future Talks about is what living with, well, during and after coronavirus. And it is important because we've had to work on things really, really quickly, and we probably haven't got the logistics in place. So cybersecurity is really important, and those tips are really going to benefit the healthcare professions and everybody, really.
Well, anybody who's sending sensitive information, I think, could benefit from these tips. And when it comes to healthcare, Liz, I think there's one other thing that the governments across Australia, or maybe Medicare or the private insurers do, and that's set up a secure portal so that instead of sending things by email, that doctors and specialists and pharmacies have a secure encrypted portal that they can send information to, and instead of having to go through those extra steps. But in the meantime, those 3 little tips you can implement today with very little cost and very little drama.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. And we will see you in the next Future Talk.
Thanks, Liz. Bye, everyone.